With this Coastal Cottage build, I planned on showing you my build process from start to finish, and that didn't work out for the build video of this. In case you haven't seen it, the live footage of me building was so pixelated and I couldn't use it. However, this time for the decorations part, the footage was fine, it looked great, it was clean, I covered everything, and then the hard drive that I stored it all on crashed. So just shitting all over my dreams. I mean, luckily it wasn't my main hard drive. That would have been so much worse. It was just the one that I recorded my videos to. But you know, it still sucks. Don't you worry though, because I'm still going to give you the tour. I'm going to cover everything and it's going to be great.
End of the line.
The fuck? Oh, come on! I'm in the middle doing something, you dick! But yeah, I'll give you guys a quick tour of the place and try to point out as much as I can. So this is the only hotel sign that I could find, and the arrow is pointing in the wrong direction. So I put this other one in front of it to fix it. And quick shout out to I Carry a Knife. He gave me the idea of putting a fence along the road here, which I think came out pretty cool. So thanks, man. Thanks for the idea. And I tried decorating a lot out here, but everything I did just turned out really shitty. It just did not look good at all. So I kept the mailbox that was already here, and then I threw in a guard post or something because we needed some kind of protection out here. So I put this guard post. It's not the best one. It doesn't really go. It's not like on theme with the hotel that I'm working with, because this is more like a historic landmark hotel, and this is like a very scrappy guard post. So I did my best. I turned this into the bar because I was debating on having this like a guard post or something like that, but the sign down here says hotel and bar, so that kind of made up my mind for me. Plus it just makes sense for a hotel to have some kind of restaurant close to it. So like the first thing you'll notice is that I knocked out this wall, or really I just kind of scooted it back, so this back wall here was actually in the front. So I scooted it back and then put these two around it and then this roof, and I did that just so I'd have more space for my poker table. Gotta have a poker table, and I love the way that it came out. It's like they ran out of caps. So in the middle, I put some extra stuff that they're betting, like a pocket watch, a key to something, some drugs, It's stuff like this that makes it obvious that I've been playing a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2. I mean, even the hotel looks like it's kind of Western, It's got a bit of a Western vibe. It's even got a bar right next to it where we can get some beer and play some poker. And I even killed a man before the tour. This is totally on par with Red Dead. And out back we got some barrels and some boxes, a little bit of storage, and a garbage can. Okay, I could do that voice for the entire tour, but I'm not going to. I think the bar came out pretty well. I had a lot of fun decorating it, if you couldn't tell. And this spot right next to it, it's kind of like this courtyard area. I planned on doing like a big garden here, but that just couldn't work because of this hill. It's like a bit of an incline right there. So I just threw a fountain in here, threw some benches down, and it actually came out pretty well. It seems like it would fit. I found this Coastal Cottage sign in Gruffy DD's signs and posters. I think I'm saying that wrong. Someone told me before that's pronounced Griffith, I think. I could be wrong. Anyway, that's where I found it. And I found this with Workshop Rearranged, and I loved it because the whole idea of this, in case you didn't watch my last videos, is that we turned Coastal Cottage, like this broken down house, into a historical hotel that's like a monument to the past before the war. So the plaque there just makes it official. I just love the way that it looks. This is the main entrance. We have Martha over here running the desk. How's it going, Martha? Doing well? Okay. Well, fuck me. A lot of hotels have seating areas down here, so I put a...
Not much, but it's...
Oh, now you want to talk. Over here I put a display case that contains items that we found while rebuilding the house. So like maybe these are from the family that lived here before everything went to shit. So I put this like refreshments area right here, and it fit perfectly. Because behind all this, I have this big mess of grass. You can see back there, sticking through. So I was trying to figure out a way to fix that, and that was just perfect. Because normally there are places where you can get coffee or water when you're checking in or something. I think so, anyway. I could be wrong. But I thought this was hilarious because I put this huge coffee dispenser thing, like this massive thing right there, and then slapped an out of order sign on it. It's just a complete waste of space. It's the little things that get me by. In here is like the back office or something, where they have lockers where they can put all their shit, and then You know, just, I don't know what, I've never been in a back office of a hotel, so I just imagine you got some lockers to store your stuff when you come into work, and then we have all these files of people that stayed here or something. Well, what's going on here? Don't worry, I'll fix it. Hang on. Hang on. There we go. Okay, now it's better. Now it all makes sense. All right, upstairs, I try to make it as basic as possible, you know, like a typical hotel. And since this is a historical house, I put these paintings of these historical dudes. I don't know who these guys are. In these paintings, am I supposed to know who they are? Cause I don't. You know how in hotels they have like random chairs in just weird locations that no one ever sits in? Yeah, we got those too. Outside, I didn't do very much. I just put these benches in. I was gonna put like a bunch of tables out here, but I really didn't think that it needed it. I think it looks fine. Just these benches and a couple of lights. We're good. So this is like the penthouse. It's the biggest room that we have. It's not amazing by any means, but it's the biggest room that we got. So I try to make it clean and inviting. You know, we got a chair by the window where you can hang out, and then just like some books, you know, just the normal stuff that you would see. We got a good view, and yeah. Just a nice little hotel room. And the other one is a little bit smaller, but I still feel like it's not too bad, you know. The same setup, we got a chair by the window, and then another, not the best view, but there is a view, and just a smaller dresser. So it's kind of the same setup. I try to keep it very like uniform, because you don't need to clutter this up too much. If it feels like I'm rushing through this, it's because I am. I'm really excited to show you this part. This is the section that goes down into the underground cave here that we have in Coastal Cottage. Now, in my last video, I ran a poll to see what you guys would like to see down here in this cave, and holy shit, people wanted to see a railroad hideout. So that's what I did. But the second most popular vote was for a player home, which I think this build needed. So what I did was I combined the two. Yeah. Railroad hideout / player home. I went with this door because it has this little hatch thing that slides open. Isn't that badass? It's so cool. I got that from Zabrina's Workshop Items. I think that's the name of the mod. Zabrina's Workshop Items. Check it out. It has a lot of really cool stuff in there. And yeah, here's my hideout, my railroad hideout player home. I love the way that this came out, and I wish that I still had the footage of me figuring this stuff out, because a lot of this stuff was just on the spot, you know, like the brick walls. I wasn't planning on doing that. I just tried it out, and they looked really cool. It reminded me of the railroad, so I went with them. Now, when it came to decorating down here, it was very difficult to get it started, but a good frame of reference is figuring out what all you want. Like, I knew that I needed a bed, I wanted an office with some terminals, a kitchen, and maybe a bathroom, because where else am I gonna go? You know, take the elevator every time I gotta go pee? Like, no. So I made the bathroom work. I was very excited about that. We got a bathroom in there. And yeah, I wasn't really planning on building up. You know, I just randomly got the idea of having, you know, a bunk bed. And then whenever I built that, I'm like, oh, so the office can go underneath it. And that just saved so much space. And this worked out perfectly. I loved how all this looks very crammed. We have shelves at the very top and posters everywhere. The terminals fit in there perfectly. It's crammed, but it all seems like it has a purpose. And this spot over here was extremely difficult too, because you see how the rock is like on a slope. So down at the bottom is very wide and sticking out, but the middle part up there, I have plenty of room. So when I tried to sit stuff down on the ground, I had all this space behind it because it was sticking out so much on the floor. So what I did was I just raised this up and used that middle part where it's all kind of flat to where I can sink it in. And then use the brick walls to cover up the bottom part so it looks intentional, you know? Like, look at the bookcase. There's so much space right there, and then there's rocks down below it. So indented shelves was the best option here, at least from what I could come up with, and I think it worked out pretty well. Well, I'm really patting myself on the back for this part, aren't I? But, you know, I'm really excited for it. It's not every day that I get so excited for a build that I yell for my wife in the other room like, holy shit, come look at my shelves! Baby, come look at my shelves! Oh, and by the way, I put this here because there were rocks. You see the rocks sticking through? So to fix that, I just kind of glitched in this terminal. Yeah, I just wanted to show you there are ways to cover up these rocks. Can you imagine what it's like for us to go to like a home furnishing store? You know, like IKEA? Jesus Christ, it's a treat for me, but a nightmare for her. It's like dealing with a kid at Toys R Us. Now, in my last video, I asked you all to build something similar here alongside me. It didn't have to be exactly this hotel, but at least something similar. And I got a lot of really cool videos. You guys did some awesome work, and I really appreciate you sending me your videos. But one of my favorite ones was this one done by Fluffador Gaming. That was my first time saying that out loud, and it was a lot of fun to say. This one was really cool though. They built it on PS4 with mods, and I just really liked the way that it came out. It seems very similar to the idea that I had, but they put their own spin on it, and it just looks awesome. So great work. I have the link to their video in the description. Be sure to check it out.